Is
DJ.
it Pride Week or something?
DJ, it's Pride Month.
Is it really?
It's June 1st.
Is it really? Dude, I just woke up like fucking
Why do you
20
think
minutes
my
ago.
face is a why do you think my face is a rainbow?
Girl, I just woke up. I didn't even notice. I'm not gonna
Okay,
lie.
first of all, that's a damn lie because we have been texting since like 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, and I fell back to sleep.
Whose fault is that?
That's not a fault. What do you mean? We didn't set to record until like 10.
I'm just saying. You were awake.
And then I went right back to sleep because my ass is tired and hasn't gotten any more than like 2 to 3 hours of sleep in the past week and a half.
Well, whose fault is that?
My jobs.
Nobody told you to work that job.
I would come across this fucking app and smack the shit off of you. Or out of you. What the fuck am I talking about?
I don't know. You know what's even funnier though?
Hmm.
I did all of this to take it off because I'm going to the gym after this. Just to do it all over again tonight when we stream Elden Ring.
Yeah. That's why I'm surprised you didn't go to the gym first.
It's because the gym is now 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
And it's a heavy leg day.
You'd be all right.
No.
You should have gone at 6 a.m. like I usually do.
It's not open at 6 a.m. on the weekends.
Was
It
open
opens at
7?
7.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And
Well,
checked
good thing
yesterday.
I don't go on the weekends.
Yeah. I saw the sign in the gym yesterday. It was like no recording unless like specifically asked and everything. And I'm like, I don't want to have to ask every time I need to take a video to send it to my trainer to make sure that my form is right.
Oh, okay. I mean,
But
if
also
you're telling them like ahead of time, like, hey, I need to do this to do that.
I know.
Just send my trainers. They might be like, okay, that's fine.
And also like I don't like to like I don't know. Anyways, are you reading stories first? Am I reading stories first? What's going on? Also, we will be doing a theme this month at some point of reading LGBTQ Reddit stories.
So I should look specifically for LGBTQ Reddit stories.
Yeah, there's a few that I want to add on here, but I think I'm gonna have Kabir come on for that one as well.
Okay, I haven't seen Kabir in a long time.
Exactly. But I think that one would be really funny for Kabir, especially since he has a boyfriend now.
Is it who I think it is?
Yes,
or
it is. Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, are you reading Reddit stories first? Am I reading Reddit stories first?
I say we have you because I'm still eating breakfast.
First of all, we need to talk about this. Are you eating an untoasted bagel?
Yes.
DJ, are you eating an untoasted bagel?
I am. It's a cinnamon raisin.
Raw.
Though.
You're
It's
eating it
cinnamon
raw.
raisin. It's
You're
cinnamon
eating it raw.
raisin.
You're eating it raw.
So?
What is wrong with you?
Cinnamon raisin bagels are good by themselves. You don't need to toast them or anything.
This is a war crime, sir.
How is it a war crime?
How is it not a war crime?
If this was a plain bagel, it'd be a different story. Don't get me wrong. Yes. But also, I don't have like there's a lot of stuff that I can't also eat right now. You gotta remember that.
You could at least toast it.
I don't want to toast it. That would have also taken up like even more time.
How do you spell bagel?
B-A-G-E-L.
I always accidentally. Huh?
B-A-G-E-L.
Okay, because I also sometimes I accidentally misspell it as beagle.
Like the dog?
Yes.
B-E-G-A-L?
Yeah.
You replace the A and the E?
Yeah. I'm dyslexic.
I'm hungry.
Okay, eat your
Does
damn
that count
raw.
for something?
No, eat your damn raw bagel and let's cue music.
All right.
wanna hear you go.
Fucking weirdo.
How am I weird? I'm just trying to eat a fucking bagel in peace.
This first story is off of Am I the Asshole? Actually, I think all of these are Am I the Asshole. So this is a very Am I the Asshole, little thing.
Too.
So this first one is, am I the asshole for telling my friend I fit more into conventional beauty standards than someone else?
The fuck? You sound like an arrogant prick.
All names are fake. A few nights ago, I, female 24, was hanging out with all of my friends, and I confidently and I admitted unprompted said to our friend Tori, male 23, was the most attractive male in the group, which was almost unanimously accepted. Everyone agrees he's hot, he's got it all, he wins, no question. I admit part of me assumed he'd say the same thing back. I admit this was a bit of fishing, but with all of the attention on him, he said with his chest that he thinks Emily, female 23, is the most attractive female. I was thrown off, but everyone agreed similarly in how they did with Troy. This did hurt my feelings. This didn't hurt my feelings or anything. It was just surprised me. Someone asked if I agreed, and I said no. I said she was pretty, stunning even, but I fit into beauty standards more. She's very unique. She has this dark, thick, curly hair, green eyes, big lips, a button nose. She's curvy, a bit tall. It has some piercing and tattoos, which is all very attractive. She's genuinely beautiful and unique looking. I just fit more into traditional beauty standards of blonde hair, blue eyes, short, petite, no body mods, and so forth. I wasn't saying she was ugly, just that traditionally speaking, I was more conventionally attractive. I agreed to disagree. Emily sounds fucking hot, dude.
Yeah, okay. Also, 1 second. It's oh my god, you got me fucking it up. Unanimously. Not unanimous. I just had to say that. I heard it and I was just like, I'm not going to say anything in this moment. I'm going to wait till she finishes.
Anyways, back to the story.
Yeah, Emily's definitely, a lot hotter. I think traditional standards are literally from like World War II and fucking
Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what the traditional standard
is.
And you gotta stop thinking that's what it is.
Also speaking with today's society, that's not the traditional beauty standard anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Some people got mad. Some people called me racist. She's El Salvadorian, which I pointed out that Troy is Japanese, and I said that he was attractive. Other people said that if the standard Michael, male 24, with blonde hair and blue eyes, should be the most attractive male, but I pointed out Troy's height and his physique make the difference. The one that confused me, honestly, is pointing out that Troy has tattoos and piercings, so he should be unattractive too. I never said those things were unattractive. I think they're hot, but traditionally speaking, body mods are unappealing. So why is it attractive on a male but unattractive on a female?
I don't think body mods are unappealing at all. Don't get me wrong, there are certain body mods that I feel like are going way over the top.
There's some body mods that I personally am not attractive to, but that person's not trying to attract me.
No, exactly. Like I'm not gonna judge them for what they do or anything like that.
No,
it's just me personally. I won't ever do those. Like the little horns in the head. No, couldn't do it.
For me personally, could not do that. The split tongue, I think, looks amazing. I will never do that.
Mm-hmm.
I am very appealed by it, by also kind of being like, ooh, it looks very interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, I am good.
Mm-hmm. But also, just because you said that your friend Troy is hot, and because he's Asian, that's like basically saying like, it's cool. I have one black friend. I'm not racist. Like that's you're basically saying the same thing right there.
Okay. Emily herself said it wasn't a big deal. She didn't really care. And after that, everyone seemed to move on. people aren't really talking to me anymore because of this, and I think they're stuck on the racist part. If they're talking, they're being kind of casual or telling me what I said was rude. It wasn't racist to me. It had nothing to do with race. It was just what's conventional. I actually reached out to Emily to apologize, and she thanked me, but reiterated it wasn't a big deal to her. When I talked to Troy, he told me it wasn't cool at all. I feel somewhat justified in my stance, honestly, even though I know it could have been taken the wrong way.
What what really irritates me with the whole traditional fucking beauty thing too is the fact that like literally so the whole blonde hair, blue eyes thing, that's traditionally only a white person can really have.
Yeah.
So traditionally, other cultures have a different standards for beauty. Like that's just how it is.
Fun
That's
fact
why
in
the traditional fucking shit I don't agree with ever.
in Chinese culture back in the day, they actually used to bind women's feet so that they were like
Hmm.
their toes would literally curl under and they would
Yeah,
just be like
it
a
was your foot was looking like that
yeah,
basically.
and it was like as small as it could get.
Hmm.
Tiny feet were seen as attractive.
Hmm. Which it's not nowadays.
50-50.
I mean, it's not like you're not going to the standard of doing that.
No, you're not. But I mean, that all came from one of the I believe they're called emperors, right? In Chinese.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
emperors or the yeah, I think it's emperor. I'm pretty sure.
I believe so. Anyways, there was an emperor that had a dancer who had tiny feet and who was very attracted to it, which has caused that beauty standard.
Hmm.
Beauty standards are subjectional in Western culture because of World War II,
Hmm.
blue eyes, blonde hair, babies. And I will say, if you are a blonde haired, blue eyed baby, you are also statistically more likely to get kidnapped
Hmm.
because it was what people were wanting. Today's age, I don't know, but I know like when we were being born, it was a
Hmm.
thing. Actually, it was such a thing that I wasn't a blue eyed, like blonde haired baby, but females were still getting kidnapped a lot, that like my mom was not okay with me not being like my dad leaving my side at all. So when they took me out to go do like the shots and everything else that they do with like newborns as soon as they were born, my dad was standing right there with them
Hmm. I
because of this.
I was so close to being a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child.
You just need the blue eyes.
Hmm. Like I was just one thing off, and honestly, I'm kind of happy I don't have blue eyes because also I think people with blue eyes have um I don't know, more trouble with their eyes or something like that. I could be wrong.
Um,
Because I thought the lighter your eyes are, like, the
yeah.
more troubling or something. Because more, like, light gets into it or something like that.
Yeah, it is. It's seen more with blue-eyed babies, but like my mom has issues with it and she has green eyes.
Mhm.
So, I think it's because blue is a lot lighter than green, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I don't know. You're like that's just rude to um this guy who has like tattoos and body mods and everything, he's hot. And I want him to
did your Wi-Fi, like, go out for a second? Did you
no,
freeze too?
no.
For some reason, it froze for me. For you.
Okay. So top comment on this is you're the asshole first for not knowing that conventions like that are always going to end with someone being pissed or upset. This
Mhm.
sounds like something a 12-year-old girl would do to sit around and do, not supposedly adult men and women. Second, no one likes a person who says they are better than someone else. That's what you did. It sounds like a brag. Finally, I suppose if you want to believe that blue eyes and blondes are the epitome of classic beauty, you're welcome to your opinion, but
Mhm.
it's just that, your opinion. When you look at the actresses and models that are considered beautiful today versus 50 to 75 years ago, very few of them are blue-eyed blondes. What you're actually saying was pretty racist and based on white-only Western culture. You're very outdated and offensive.
Mhm.
Yep.
Kind of like, I mean, not kind of like what we were saying. Like they definitely went into more detail about it.
I mean, Zendaya is considered one of the most beautiful women out there.
Oh yeah, no, she's like,
Rihanna,
I
like
would,
Gigi
yeah.
Hadid, like
If I, like, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's about only one model out there that I think I fuck with. That's white. In all honesty, and I don't even know if she's like fully white.
who?
Demi Rose Mobby.
I don't think she's fully white. She's a British model. That's all it says.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, that's about the only one. Just because, so I also don't like the standards that people put on models too, because a lot of models need to be like basically anorexic, and that's
There's actually law, like I know in some European countries they've actually made laws about it where if they look too thin or they like are considered like anorexic or something, they won't work with them. They're
okay.
being
Well, that's good.
forced to like put on
More
weight
weight.
now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because that it's just unhealthy. Like I don't like the
Well,
old ways at all.
yeah, and a lot of models, I mean, but it's the same thing in like Hollywood, how a lot of people are coming out like from the early, like late 90s, early 2000s that are saying that like the like heroin chic phase that was like of that time caused
Hmm.
so many eating disorders. Like I go back and I watch like old Disney Channel shows and everything with Raven Simone in it. And
Hmm.
it's like she was pitted as like the obese fat girl. And it's
Hmm.
like looking at that, I'm like, she just has a big chest.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, this the culture that was those the how I mean, we're just talking in the past 20 years
Yeah.
how it has changed so much. So you sitting here saying like when I'm thinking of conventional beauty standards now, I'm thinking of like how people talk about people who have more symmetrical faces are considered more attractive because it's more appealing to the eye.
Hmm.
That's what I thought that she was going with this shit, not some blonde hair, blue eyed bullshit.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting the whole blonde hair, blue eyes thing at all either. I really
I was
thought it was just like the more like traditional look nowadays. Like, which honestly isn't even a traditional look. It's more like, because again, everybody's got their own opinions on what they think is attractive. Don't like people that look snobby at
yeah.
all. Like, I'm sorry, if you look like you need me to take you to a 5-star restaurant on the first
So
date, bye. If you look like you
so
need
Olive
me,
LaPlata.
yeah, exactly. That's basically why I'm just like, I won't date anybody there at all.
No,
Like,
no.
if I hear you're from Lableda, bye.
Bye
Like,
bye.
go find somebody else. It ain't me.
Okay, so am I the asshole
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
telling my friend to stop talking about his culture so much? Oh, wait. I completely there was an edit on the original post.
Oh, okay.
So there was an edit on the Am I the Asshole conventional beauty. I understand that it's ignorant to believe in any type of beauty standard. I just meant I fit into a more classic beauty standard. Also, while she is El Salvadorian, she is white passing. I didn't even know she wasn't white until I heard her speaking Spanish once. I know she's still a woman of color technically, but I'm putting this in for clarity.
There's no technically about that.
There's no technically. What do
Like,
you mean technically?
bro, no, you're still, when you're talking about those standards or traditional shit, you're still going back to the standards of World War II when fucking Hitler was just like blonde hair, blue eyes. That's still what you're going back to. Like, that's what you're
Technically.
considering it.
Technically. I'm stuck on the phrase of technically.
Technically a woman of color. Shut up. She is a
There is
woman of
no
color. There's no
technically about
technicality
it.
about it.
White
This is
passing.
white
The
people.
moment she said dark hair, thick, curly hair, has dark, thick, curly hair, green eyes, big lips, a button nose, and curvy, a bit tall. That's
Yeah,
not
I
describing a
didn't
white
think.
woman. Thick, like you're
Don't get
not.
me wrong, like it's possible
It's
sometimes, but
possible. It is possible. I'm not saying that it is not
it's like
possible.
if we're talking about
Shaw
like
is a
more than
fully
likely.
white woman with thick, dark, curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's not the first thing that popped into my mind.
Mm-mm.
She's white passing. I know she's technically still a woman of color. That just pissed me off.
Technically. It's the whole
Technically.
technicality right there. That's crazy.
Where's a
Technically
red
speaking.
flag when I need it? Throw a red flag on the field.
Fucking
Technically.
technicality out of here. Damn. Did we even say what episode this was, by the way?
No idea. It's whatever.
I don't know what it is. It's a number.
It is a number. Okay. The other one. This one also
Yeah.
has an edit.
Okay. Don't forget it this time.
Am I the asshole for telling my friend to stop talking about his culture so much?
Yes. No, I don't know honestly, because there is a too far. Don't get me wrong. Like if you're doing this every second of the fucking day, that's a little too much. Like, come on, you got to talk about something else. You know what I mean?
If the topic of conversation is always about that, like I understand. Like if you're like
Yeah,
trying to like vent and talk about like something serious and they bring it back to their culture, then like that's
yeah.
insensitive. Um,
But if it's they're trying to like relate what's going on to their culture, it's whatever. You know, like it's not like I don't know how to explain that. It's
are you,
like
are you ready for this?
yeah. I know, yeah. Go ahead.
I, 18 male, have a friend, Adam, 18 male, who is very outspoken about his culture and ethnicity. He's a Louisianan Creole who speaks French as a first language, and he is extremely proud of his culture, especially since he claims it's a dying ethnicity. The only problem is sometimes it gets overbearing. He often makes posts in French and the Louisianan Creole language. He's always talking about his French ancestors. He listens to Creole music very, very often. He talks to himself in French. He's always talking about his history of Louisiana Creoles and the colonization of Louisiana. Like, okay, we get it. You're Creole. I was starting to believe that he was obsessed with his culture and thought lower of me for not being Creole since he spoke so highly and proudly of his ancestors. I'm Puerto Rican and I'm proud of my culture, but never to the extremity that he was. He always taught us stuff about his culture in Louisiana when we didn't ask for any of the knowledge. Well, one day I kind of lost it. We were having dinner with some other friends, and he started talking about a certain Creole dish. I immediately stopped him and told him that nobody cared he was Creole. I told him that everyone
Ooh.
just thinks that he's a light skinned black man and to stop talking about his culture because it's annoying. He was astonished and quiet for a minute. Then he responded with, "Imagine if there was a 10,000 Puerto Ricans left on this earth. Let's see how you'd feel about your culture." He didn't even finish his dinner after that. He stayed quiet for 5 minutes and then got up and left. My other friends at the table told me that I didn't have to say that and that I was being the asshole. I haven't heard from Adam in a week, and we used to talk every day.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, you're kind of the fucking asshole.
I don't think that anything that he did was out of the ordinary,
Mm-mm.
It doesn't seem like it was unprompted. His first language is French. Of course, he's going to talk to himself in French and post in French. That's
Yeah,
his first language.
yeah.
Like, what do you
Like
mean?
I didn't see him doing anything too much, like, or it didn't sound like he was doing too much.
No.
Like he was trying to teach y'all about his culture, which honestly,
Which is
not a lot of people do.
no.
So Like,
and
I'd
here's
be interested in learning about that shit. Like, the fuck?
and it's not like it's like random bits. It's like, oh, let me tell you about this dish that I love. It's a Creole traditional dish. Yada
Yeah.
yada yada yada. Like when me and Lonnie got together, I literally asked him, I said, what are your favorite dishes when we go, and meet your mom and everything? She can teach me how to make it and everything like that because we grew up in two different like families.
Mhm.
It's not just like that. Like it's
He that was it was very insensitive how he said it. Like, don't get me wrong. If he wanted to say something like that, honestly, I can't even think of a way to fucking say it because there's really nothing wrong with what he was
so
doing.
I'm just gonna point something out here. He goes, everyone just thinks of him as a light-skinned black man and to stop talking about his culture because it's annoying. If you were to accidentally call a Puerto Rican Mexican, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, or any other fucking like
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, it's a whole thing.
I don't.
And I've seen it play out in front of me.
Yeah.
So to say that, like, Creoles are typically black.
Mhm.
Yes. His culture is not his race.
Yeah.
He is a Louisianan Creole.
Mhm.
That is his like
Like even for fucking like people that are white, we still have different areas technically because Germans are different than people that are Irish.
yes.
It's like they're different from people that are
Oh
British.
god, call us Scottish Irish?
Yeah,
Whoo.
like
Whoo.
so there is so many different things for also like even white culture. Like
I mean, you
it's
even see it in like Asian culture.
mhm.
Like Chinese do not like to be mistaken for Japanese. Japanese do not like to be mistaken for any other Asian culture. Like it's a thing.
Mhm.
It's insulting someone as who they are as a person.
Mhm.
Your culture is who you like. It's not all of who you are, but it's a big basis for your foundation.
Yeah.
And you're basically telling him, fuck your foundation.
Mhm.
So, top comment on this is you're the asshole coming from someone who's part of a dying ethnicity as well. I'm Calhaldian. No idea what that is. Do you?
What was it? What?
Chaldean.
Mm-mm. I don't know what that is.
Um, earliest waves consider of Sutians and Armenians, followed century later. Small country that existed between the late 10th century, early 9th century, and mid 6th centuries BC. Oh, it's like so it goes from Israel up into Syria through Iraq and all the way over to Kuwait. So it's like that region.
Mhm.
Um, so it's a specific ethnicity within that region. Your ethnicity dying feels as if your family is fading away. You become overly proud of it and a physiological subliminal attempt to keep it alive. You feel lonely, especially in places you're not a ton of you live in.
Mhm.
Um, that's yeah. I mean, he literally said there's only like maybe 10,000 of them left.
Yeah.
That's not a lot when you think about the world population.
No, because the world population is what, like 8 billion or something like that?
8.1 billion people.
It's definitely a small, like, little dip in the like, you're basically just sticking your fucking pinky toe into the fucking ocean.
I mean, that's
How
not it.
big the fucking
It's like
population is.
sticking like the very tip of your nail into the ocean.
Yeah, like
You can't
that's
even
how
say you're
tiny
wet
the
at that point.
population is. Yeah.
There's nothing like that's mm.
Hmm.
um edit. Okay, I do admit that the way that I told him nobody cares wasn't all that nice. There were more cuss words involved in me telling him that. So you were even harsher than
Yeah,
what you put on Reddit?
you watered down how you said it. That's crazy. Seems like you definitely are the asshole, and you already knew you were the asshole.
So you tried to downplay
Yeah,
what you said to this man.
like, yeah, you knew you were the asshole. Like, there's no denying that.
You downplayed. You said, I only said that everyone just thinks of him as a light-skinned man. What else did you say to this man? What did
Yeah,
you cuss at this man? I wouldn't want to talk to you either. Fuck off.
I would definitely just X you out of the friend group entirely, in all honesty. Because, again, you did it in front of everybody. Like, I'm sorry, unanimously, as the friend group, I would X you out.
Peace out,
Simple as
motherfucker.
that.
Peace out. Did you
Yeah.
finish eating your raw bagel?
Yeah, finish that during the first story.
Okay. Just had to make sure.
Now I'm just drinking my orange juice.
Weirdo. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be sexist?
I don't think you should be sexist in general, but okay. I don't understand this whole too broke to be sexist, but all right.
Throwaway.
Go on.
So my husband comes from a traditional family. Mom's a stay-at-home mom. Father was the sole provider. I came from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He, often more than, pulled his weight at home and was engaging and present father and a genuine partner. The only thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much.
Hmm.
My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual MO is I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work/school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holiday, so in the meantime, we're DIYing the cleaning where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean. In common spaces, we all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work. They hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and a mother. And they hate that my husband pulls his weight at home. We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I wasn't to be chastised about how I lived my life in my home. When I'm a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. Typically, I get home around 18:15/18:30 and went up to eat at 1900. I said quick hellos and ran up for a pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up for dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids, and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point. It wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and took better care of my home and children. He said traditional was traditional for a reason. It was kind of insulting that I thought I was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be an asshole. I told him traditional won't allow a man on 35K to support a family of 5 and he was too broke to be sexist. He looked hurt, and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I busted my ass to clean up his mess on top of having to deal with his parents was too much for me. Am I the asshole?
I'm sorry, I wouldn't be allowing the parents to stay with us ever.
No.
Ever. They would not. No.
So here's my thing.
35K? You really think you can be sexist?
I was starting this, you were like, I don't think that you should be sexist at all. And now you're like,
because first of all, you think, okay, here's the thing. If you think you can afford to have one person only working and her staying home, and you can still live the same fucking life that y'all have, because first of all, y'all have a cleaner?
bro, I don't even have a cleaner.
Like, bruh, what? No.
I want one, but bitch can't afford it. So
Like,
what the fuck?
no.
How much does she make?
That's what I'm wondering, because she has to be making more than 35K.
Definitely more than 35K.
Also, her using military time makes me think she's in the military.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they have housing on base.
Yeah, but I mean, they even still, like, Shar has housing on base and she doesn't have a fucking cleaner. She makes almost double what the man makes, plus what John makes, and they don't have a cleaner.
I don't know.
I will say though, people in the military usually. So she used to be a cleaner, and a lot of the houses that she went and cleaned were people in the military, but they were like officers. They weren't enlisted.
Okay, but I mean, they could be like.
She could be an officer. I mean, we don't know what she does. We don't know how much she makes. But I will say, funny.
Or he could be the person in the military. Thinking about it. Because 35K sounds about right for some people in the military, depending on the job. Also, I mean, I feel like she would be home before 6 or 7 o'clock if she had a job, because I think they're pretty, like, 5 o'clock is about where it ends, unless they're like changing shifts. But I don't know much about jobs on base.
Hold on, I'm trying to.
Because also, if they thought
he would have to be an E4. They make 31 to 38 per year enlisted. Or so he could be up to an E5. So non-enlisted, non-commissional officers make 31 to 38 per year for E4, and E5 makes 34 to 48 per year. So E4-ish is around the rank he would be if he was military. Do we have ages? No, we don't have ages. Okay, anyways.
But they have 5 kids or 3 kids.
Yeah, so it would, if he was military, because you get dependents. So he would technically then need to be like an E3 or an E4, depending on how much they get for dependents. So probably more an E3.
Probably.
And if in-laws are staying with them, they're no, because you can have people on base. It's just a process to get them on base.
I think, yeah, but I don't know how many cleaners are actually on base though.
Probably not a lot. So off base living. So then you also get a stipend for living. Okay, anyways, we're focusing too much on this.
Because they could, neither one of them could be in the military. Who knows? But all I'm saying also is if she's in the military too, she has a contract that she has to complete. So it's not like she can stop her job. or anything
Yeah.
like that.
But
Because
I
then
mean,
that's
to sit here and say you need to do your wifely duties, if we
yeah.
are splitting the bills, we are splitting the household duties.
Mhm. Which is why, and, like, you never had a problem with it either before until
No,
your
they
mother
did.
said something.
Oh, yeah, no, he did it.
Yeah.
But you can tell that he's like, he knows that he's in the wrong because he's doing
Mhm.
that thing when like toddlers get caught and they won't look at you because if they think
Yeah.
that if they don't look at you, they don't have to like, they're not
They
in
don't have to deal with
trouble.
that whole situation, yeah.
I'm gonna say though, tentatively, yes, I agree with her. It shouldn't have been done in front of the kids,
Mm,
but mother-in-law and him started it.
yeah.
You ended it. And he
Mhm.
wants to go cry now? Fine, go cry. Go cry. What we had was working. These are boundaries that I put into our relationship from the very beginning. You
Mhm.
were okay with them. You switched to them. Mommy comes in for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, you
I'm
should
sorry,
be
2
more of a
weeks.
traditional woman.
I don't think I can handle 2 weeks doing
I
that.
couldn't listen, I couldn't handle 2 weeks with my mom staying with me. My mother. My mom.
Do me edit that out? No, I'm just
No,
joking.
she knows it. She says the same thing. She's like, "I love you. When you have kids, I will come and say hi. I'm not staying."
I'll get a hotel. That's what I'll
No,
do.
she's literally like, "Love you so much. I'm not staying with you.
Mm-mm.
We don't get along." I'm like, "I'm glad we have this understanding."
Yeah.
No, this woman is not the asshole. I
Mm-mm.
too would have stated, "You want a traditional wife? Get a job that allows me to be a traditional wife then. Support me fully.
Mhm.
Support our life fully.
Mhm.
And then maybe we can have a conversation. But until then, I'm not going to sit here and work all day
Mhm.
and come home and play maid to you, play
Yeah.
mommy to you. I'm raising 3 kids with you.
Mhm.
We are partners. This is a partnership.
Mhm. That's what I
Unless
don't understand. Like, people, like, do they completely forget, like, the whole marriage is a contract between 2 people?
no, it's the whole traditional values.
Which is
Okay.
dumb as hell, like
Traditional values were when minimum wage was the minimum like to survive off of.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, though, like, I'd love to be a stay-at-home dad. That'd be fun.
I'm
That'd be
too
nice, I feel like.
listen,
I
I'm
can
gonna be
handle
so
cooking,
honest.
cleaning, and fucking taking care of kids. I
I
got you.
s- I see my cousin who is a stay-at-home mom, and I see my friend who is a stay-at-home mom, and they have like such this amazing bond with their kids and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. And then I have a day off with nothing to do. I don't have to do any work. I just have to take care of my pets. And I
Mhm.
go insane. And I find something that needs to be worked on
Mhm.
because I can't do it.
But the thing is, for me, though, I could easily find something to do because it's not like I can't stream from home.
Yeah, but here's the thing, you have to take time away for the kids, so your partner has to be home to watch the kids.
Not if they're in nap time or if they're in school.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the first few years.
Yeah, okay, I'll
My
still have the
cousin's
baby
kid
monitor.
doesn't nap. She doesn't nap. I didn't nap as a kid.
Yeah, but also not every kid is gonna be the same because some kids do nap. Like my
No, some
nieces and
kids,
nephews, they nap for like 2 to 3 hours at a time.
but you would have to learn that schedule.
Oh yeah, no, I know, and that's when I'd stream. Like, and I'd still have the baby monitors right here, and if I needed to go get them, I'd go get them, or I'd
And
end
that's
stream right then and
and
there.
and that's perfectly fine. But
Yeah,
the thing is that you are still contributing to the household funds
yeah,
at that point. What
yeah,
they're
but it's not like I
talking
need to go
about,
and do something.
what they're talking about is like traditional woman stays at home, woman is just wife and mother. She has
Yeah, I
nothing
know.
else,
Like,
which is
because
bullshit.
I could still clean and everything too. Like, I'd still that's what I'd still do is clean up and cook and do all that stuff because
And I
it's not like I
feel like
don't
he
enjoy it.
needed that reality check of what your parents had is not feasible.
Mm-mm. Not in today's time.
No.
Mm-mm.
So top comment is sucks the kids were there for it, but he deserved worse, not the asshole. You should have ordered only enough food for you and the kids. That's what I thought she was going to do because
That's
that's
what
what
I
I
thought
would
she
have
was
done.
saying she did.
Well, she only served herself
Yeah,
and the
no.
kids.
When she had said that, I thought originally, like before you had said, and they can go get their own or serve themselves. I originally thought before you had said that she had only ordered enough for her and her kids.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
So next comment down is not the asshole, and I wanted to read this one because it does touch on a lot of different things. Your husband was indeed a coward. He's been a willing participant in your marriage all along, as ga- uh gamely contributed to the agreement you have and have worked for you both. It was incredibly hurtful of him to not uphold his own decisions nor defend his wonderful partner of a wife to his parents. When the shit hit the fan, he failed to hold up. And that's a really sad realization for you. What you said might have been hurtful and cutting, but it was the truth and only
Hmm.
came out because he said, also in front of your children, that you weren't a proper woman and didn't take adequate care of your home and children.
Hmm.
Frankly, he needed to hear it. How can he think that you should be more or better with all that you're already doing? Does he think it's really a valid option for you to just drop your work and career to be a homemaker? And how does he think that's going to go for your family? It's absurdly impractical and makes him look like an imbecile to think that he has merit. Hate to fall into old Reddit tropes, but it's going to be a therapy or divorce time. No, definitely into the therapy route because it sounds like he's 85% bought into it and working to be a better person. But that 15% reared its head when his parents came back around, which might mean that you need some firmer boundaries against his parents. It's
Yeah.
sickening that they are abused their influence of him and used their time with him alone to turn him against you. If it were me, they would not be welcomed in my home ever again. And I'd seriously be considering limiting their access to my grandkids as well because they're poisonous against you.
Yeah.
And that's basically all that we said, just summed up very neatly of honestly, this might be a thing where you guys have to cut contact or very limited contact with his parents at this point because when you go into their house, you abide by their rules and their tradition. You even stated, I become the daughter-in-law that, they wish that they had. I
Hmm.
become very, I fit, what their house
The
rules
mold that
are.
they wanted.
Well, not just the
Yeah.
mold, but like she respects their boundaries in their house.
Yeah.
They did not give her the same thing because they are so opinionated and they think that they are right.
Yeah.
Parents of that generation love to preach my house, my rules. But when it comes to their children's house and their children's rules, they want to they don't want to abide by it.
Hmm.
They think that it doesn't apply to them. But that's not the case.
What irritates me every time. Okay, so when I know you probably don't want to hear about them, but whenever I go to visit them up there, you know
Mhm.
what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
So not his actual like mom or anything, but stepmom fucking rearranges the dishes all the damn time. Like starts to clean but never finishes it. And then it's just like telling them to finish up the cleaning that she started when she's one not helping with the child, two sleeping until fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then staying up so late,
Yep.
making so much noise.
Yep.
Like, bro, get the fuck out.
Yep.
Like, go get a hotel room. You're not staying here no more. Fuck that shit. Stop
Didn't they
rearranging
make
my
that
house.
rule?
Huh?
Didn't they make that rule?
They did, but she don't abide by it.
Good God. Okay.
That's why she don't stay there anymore.
So we have enough for one more story, and I'll let you choose. Am I the asshole for taking advantage out of a woman who couldn't speak English into selling her husband's car for 1,500 euros instead of 3,000? Or am I the asshole for taking in my nephew?
The car one sounds interesting, but I feel like there's something deep rooted with the nephew one, so I kind of want to go with that.
Go with your gut.
Nephew.
Okay. We will read the other one for a little bonus thing later on.
All right.
Am I the asshole for taking in my nephew? I, 32 male, have a nephew, 18, a female at birth, and last week he came out as transgender to his family. His parents reacted badly and kicked him out with nothing but the clothes on his back. Then they messaged me and everyone in the family that he was disowned and not to give him any help, but they refused to say why. I got a call from one of my nephew's friends. Phone. It was my nephew on the line on Sunday last week explaining what happened and asked me to come pick him up. I have taken him in. I have blocked my brother and his wife. Since then, my parents and older siblings have been telling me that I am a horrible person for taking him in and that I'm being an asshole for disrespecting my older brother. I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but I feel like I'm disrespecting my family's wishes. Am I the asshole?
No. Fuck your family.
Your nephew is going one. You're respecting his pronouns.
Yeah.
You're respecting his transition. 2, your nephew is going to be so fucking grateful to you for you taking him in and accepting him. What he is experiencing is the fear that every person in the LGBTQ community has when they come out
Mm-hmm.
of being disowned, being kicked out. Like, it's not as common today,
Basically having no family anymore.
but it's still a very common thing
Mm-hmm.
of coming out and being told no, and you lose every familial connection that you have. Like, it's such a, like, you're coming out to the people who you love and care for the most.
Mm-hmm.
You're coming out to the people that gave birth to you, that are supposed to love you no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately turn their backs on you. No, you're not the asshole, and fuck your family's wishes. That's
Mm-hmm.
transphobic.
Mm-hmm.
If honestly, I would cut off the ties with my family.
I'm surprised to hear a story like this, honestly, right now. Because I feel like times had changed for the better.
If they're in any sort of southern state,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
look at what
true.
Florida's doing.
I tend to avoid whatever Florida does. If I see anything about Florida pop up on a timeline, I'm kind of just like skip. like,
Um, just so
fuck
that you
Florida.
are aware, this was posted 13 hours ago.
What?
It was posted 13 hours ago.
That's. I was kind of hoping you were gonna say a long time ago, like a long, long time ago, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
13 hours ago. I genuinely, what I hope is that this uncle takes his nephew out to their like city's pride
Mm-hmm.
and has a grand old time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that this nephew still has someone in their corner.
Yeah, because honestly, if I was the nephew, then at that point, I'd kind of just change my entire name too, just so nobody like.
Most people do
Okay,
who
well,
are
I wasn't sure. I mean, like, I'm not talking about just the first name. I'm talking about last name too, if I can.
so you can start going by other names legally. I know it's a process to get your name changed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like make ads and all of this other stuff if you're changing your name legally for a reason that isn't marriage. Um, it's actually really hard. So top comment on this is,
Really?
what the fuck is wrong with your family and how did you emerge from it normal?
Yeah, like the fuck.
Bless you for being there for him, not the asshole.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would think they are the asshole.
Well, when you have all of your family telling you, how dare you do this? Like, how dare you go against family? it starts like if you're hearing it from your mother and your other siblings, I can understand how you're like, am I doing something wrong here? Like, I thought that I was helping out
What's that
my
whole saying? Blood's like thicker than what?
um blood is thicker than water. But it's actually, hold on. The full quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The saying means chosen bonds are more significant than the bonds with family or water of the womb.
Wait, so hold on. You said chosen bonds with the family?
So the blood of the covenant is thicker, meaning that the chosen bonds that you have are more significant. And the rest of the quote is than the water of the womb, meaning and the water of the womb is signifying your family.
Okay, so
S-
basically what you're saying is
Is the
that
quote is completely used the wrong way all the fucking time.
yeah,
Yes.
that's so dumb. Why is it
Blood is
used the wrong way?
so the quote that is the modern quote is blood is thicker than water.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying like why do people use it in the wrong like context now? Why do people think that it's reversed?
A manipulation tactic.
That's so stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, it fucking works. But I mean, like, because I was literally about to be like, blood is whatever.
Yeah, so
But
blood
like,
is
fuck
thicker
that
than
shit.
water is a proverb in the English language, meaning family bonds will always be stronger than other relationships, which also is wrong. So the earliest record of this saying can be traced back to the 12th century German.
Oh, cool. Back to them. Wow. Okay.
Um,
No.
but yeah, a lot of these comments are just saying you're not the asshole. You're
Mm,
amazing for helping out your nephew. You're protecting him. You're giving him a safe space. Like, you know, you're providing a safe space and a home for this person who's just lost every family connection he's
yeah.
had
Like
for just wanting to live his truth.
every connection he's ever known too.
Yeah.
Like, okay, at least he still has his friends too.
So somebody goes, okay, so yes, you're disrespecting your family's wishes, but that's because your family are horrible people, horrible grandparents, and transphobic. You should disrespect their wishes. They are the assholes, and you are not the asshole. Also, your nephew is 18 and can choose to live wherever they want. You are 32, and you can choose to welcome whoever you want into your home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asshole, asshole, asshole to the
That
family.
whole entire family, yeah. Except for
Except for OP.
yeah, because I don't know
Like,
if it's an aunt or an uncle. Honestly, I don't know.
it's an uncle.
Is
It's
it okay?
32 male. Yeah.
Oh, it did. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I really couldn't remember.
Well,
I feel like I forget things so easily.
I just need you to know that I texted Shar that you were eating a raw bagel, and she goes, jail, directly to jail. Do not pass go.
It's
Do not collect 200.
it's a raw. Okay, hold up. Did you explain what kind of bagel it was?
The kind of bagel doesn't
Yes,
matter.
it fucking does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it fucking does. If it was a plain bagel, yes, it should have been toasted and had some cream cheese on there. All right. Now, if it was everything bagel, also the same thing. Fuck that shit. Or an everything bagel should be used for like an egg sandwich, something like that. But since it was a cinnamon raisin bagel, it can be eaten raw. You just said bagel. So she's gonna automatically assume it was a fucking plain bagel. Who the fuck eats a plain bagel raw? Nobody. Nobody fucking does that. That's understandable for jail time. All right. That's
This is
understandable.
understandable for jail time.
What is not?
Yes, it
Because the
is.
reason you eat a bagel with cream cheese is because it has no flavor. But the cinnamon and the raisin add flavor to it. Not that much, but I also don't have any other fucking like I don't have like maple fucking brown sugar cream cheese or anything like that. So I can't add that. I also can't add I don't think I can add maple brown sugar to it anyways because of the fucking 75 hard thing.
Anyways, that is all we have for you today. Fucking DJ eating a raw bagel.
Which is normal when it's cinnamon raisin.
It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Thank you for joining us. Please make sure to leave 5-star reviews on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will catch you all next week.
Mm-hmm.